So welcome to another demo of one of the solutions that we built here at IVFlow. Today we will be looking at a chatbot for a dental clinic, a fictitious dental clinic, and essentially its job is to allow customers to create bookings through the portal, through this channel, allow customers to ask questions, and then allow customers to edit their appointments, view their appointments, etc., etc. So it's in sync with this calendar over here, and this calendar relates to the can be taken to be the calendar of the clinic. So ideally, if this was integrated to a real clinic, this would be their calendar, and the bot would be integrated to that, which it is already. The bot is also integratable to multiple channels. That includes WhatsApp, Instagram, and a few other things. But today we will be looking at the web chat channel. So this is essentially what it would look like if you created a separate page for the bot on your site. That it's essentially like a chat GPT on your site specifically for your business to help you out with answering questions and helping customers to book appointments, helping leads to move forward, etc., etc. So let's get started. So as you can see, the bot has replied, and then like I said, it can also answer questions. So I'd say let's just start by asking it a few questions. Let's ask it one question actually. Let's see, where are you located? So as you can see, it has replied with the appropriate answer, and yeah, that's just to demonstrate the functionality of asking questions. So obviously you'd be able to upload as a business, we would be able to collect knowledge about your business and then create a knowledge base that the bot would refer to answer questions from. And then just make sure that the knowledge base is regularly updated, just so that the bot always gives the users the latest and the most up-to-date information about your business, so that basically we can avoid any kind of problems or issues that might arise when customers come to you with certain expectations or certain information that's actually false or outdated or wrong. So carrying on, let's start the booking. Let's say I want to book an appointment. Then you can see that it's asking if this would be my first ever visit to the clinic. So this is another feature of chatbots. You can kind of create them to handle different users in different ways. So let's say at your business, the current system, the current methodology is that you handle first-time clients by inviting them for a free trial or inviting them for a certain thing, and then people who already come to your business before, they would be handled in a different way. So it's the same way at this dental clinic. You can see that you'll see later that all people who are let's reply with yes. All people who are visiting the clinic for the first time, they have to come in for a normal checkup before any other thing. So they can't just schedule a braces appointment or an extraction, etc., etc. So you can fit the board, you can mold the board to fit your current business system perfectly, essentially, so that it's just an extension of your business and it's not functioning like in a sort of independent way of your business, and it basically complements your current system in the best possible way, allowing you to handle prospects the way they normally would have been handled, except this time it's hands-free, and as you can see, it's completely automated by a chatbot. So yeah, that's cool with me. I'll be willing to come in for the normal checkup. That's cool. Great. So it says I can get you an appointment on Monday the 12th May during any of the time slots below. So that's from 8 to 5. Let's take a look at my calendar. So this would be the calendar of the dental clinic, and as you can see, on Monday the 12th from 5 p.m. from 8 a.m. over here to 5 p.m. it's completely free. So it has returned that as a free slot. That whole period is a free slot, essentially. And then you can also see that the bot has checked for an appointment on Monday, not on Sunday or Yeah, so the reason for all Saturday, the reason for that is because it has been set to check for appointments on the next available working day. So I just thought it would be reasonable for the working days to be from Monday to Friday. And so if it's a Saturday, it's obviously going to check for Monday. If it's a Friday, it's still going to check for Monday. If it's a Thursday, then it's check for Friday, and so on and so forth. So it always checks for the next available working day. And another reason for this is so that users don't book appointments on the same day of interacting with the bot, and that's just so that appointments don't appear suddenly on the receptionist side, and that way they have like a bit of a time period to see the appointments that are booked for the next day, and then to ensure that everything is ready to have those people. Those people are called up. Those people are, the appointment is basically set, and the clinic is ready to handle them, compared to if it's quite sudden. However, if you have a different use case, for example, you want users to be booking I don't know, introductory calls to your business, discovery calls to meet with you guys, and you want users to have the ability to book appointments for the same day, or even within a few hours, within a few minutes. That's also available, of course, but that's in this specific use case, we just designed it that way. So yeah, going back to the bot, let me show you something else. So if what a really another really cool thing about the bot is that users can first of all choose to come in on a different day. They can basically tell the bot, look, I can't make it on this day, can you check for another day, which we're going to do, that which we're going to demonstrate. But then another thing is that its data updates in real time with data on the calendar. So let's say we add two more events here called appointments 1 and appointment 2. So now you can see that on Tuesday, the only slots are from 9 to 10, from 11 to 12, and then from 1 p.m. onwards. So let's tell the bot I can't make it, check for other days. Then it asks, should it look for slots on the next day? Let's go with the next day. However, they can also select next week, and it would do the same thing just on the next week. So let's ask it to check for the next day. So you can see that it is checked for now Tuesday, the 13th of May, and you can see the slots it has returned from 9 to 10, 9 to 10, that's the free slot, 11 to 12, 11 to 12, that's the free slot, and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So you can see that it updates in real time, right? In real time with the actual data on the calendar. So as you add appointments here, it also updates the data that is given to the bot, so that the bot is able to basically understand. It basically reads your calendar every single time before it makes a report to the user. So before it tells the user there's these available slots, it first reads your calendar and then interprets that and finds the available slots. So let's go with 11 a.m. First of all, it is also able to, it generates an appointment time, so you can create a database of the different appointments you have. So let's say checkups, let's say you have extractions, let's say you have braces appointments, let's say you have scans. All of those will have different time frames, right? So this, we're obviously coming in for a checkup because it said all new visitors have to come in for a checkup, and a checkup is in the database scheduled to be 30 minutes. So let's try to book a checkup for like a slot that is already taken. So like from midday to 1, that's a slot that's already taken. Let's see what, actually let's go from 10 a.m 10 a.m to 11, 10 a.m, and let's see what it will say. So you can see obviously it has said the time you pick doesn't fit into any of the slots above, because it has interpreted that you want 10 a.m. But if you look over here, 10 a.m is already booked, right? And our appointment is 30 minutes long. So you can then, it will then tell the user, look, that doesn't fit into any of the slots you have, please choose a different option. So let's go with now an option that will work. Let's go with 11 a.m, and then there you go, that time will work perfect. So to confirm, you'll be coming on Tuesday 13th May, and your appointment will start at 11 a.m and end at 11:30, and then you just confirm. Is that all okay with you? Yes, it is. And then from there, it now asks for the details so it can make the actual booking. So your full name, let's go with Jesse Karch. and then your first visit has been booked successfully. Feel free to let me know if you'd like to make any changes or if you want me to read it out to you. Looking forward to seeing you when you visit us. Thanks. So now, if you come over here, you can see that right there an appointment has just appeared out of nowhere, right? That appointment has just been input and booked by the bot. If you click on it and you look at the details, you can see Jesse Karch, a first visit on, and it will take 0.5. 0.5 refers to the time frame in hours, so it will take half an hour. So you can see that the bot has booked an appointment directly to the calendar, just like that, right? So let's come back to the bot and let's see, let's ask it, let's see, it's a day later and we've forgotten when our appointment is, right? So we come back to the bot, we can restart we can start a new conversation here, and then we can say, obviously it's going to remember the same user, and a new conversation would be started after our conversation ends. So essentially you can set a timeout, so maybe like 2 hours after no activity on the conversation, it will just end, and then a new conversation will start every time the user now messages the bot again, but the bot will still remember that same user. So let's say, hi, when is my appointment? See, it has remembered that I'm Jesse Karch, and then it has gone, okay, I've checked for appointments under the name Jesse Karch, and your next booked appointment is on Tuesday the 13th. So it remembers the user, and then it looks for their next booked appointment. If the user's last booked appointment was already in the past, so let's say the last time they booked an appointment was on the 6th and today is the 10th, it would tell them that they have no upcoming appointments. Or if they've never booked an appointment, it would tell them once again they have no upcoming appointments. Or if it's got a completely new user and they ask, I want to check my appointments, it would first ask for their name, and then using their name, it would look in the calendar to find if there's any upcoming appointments under that name. So you can see that it's it functions extremely well, and users can use it to go back and forth in checking their appointments, looking at the calendar without having to call the receptionist, without having to make a call to the actual clinic and ask them stuff. So it's it's a very good way for users to interact with the business, by saving time on both the side of the business in terms of the receptionist and all of that, but then also making things extremely easy and simple for users. But then another really cool thing is that users can change their appointment. So you can see here that it has asked, is that okay with you, or do you want to change it? Let's say I want to change it, right? So as you can see, I've just made a request to change the appointment, and it is saying, it's asking, it then now again goes ahead and searches for the next free appointment slot. So you can see it is checked for Monday the 12th, and there's slots from 8 to 5, because like I said, it always checks for the closest ones. However, you can go on and schedule it for the next week or the next day, etc, etc. But let's just say I wanted to move this appointment from here to 10 a.m. on Monday. So it has already given me the option of choosing Monday the 12th, and let me go with 10 a.m. And you can see the time will work perfect. So to confirm, you'll be coming on Monday the 12th, and your appointment will start at 10 and end at 10:30. Is that all okay with you? Yes, it is. And then you can see your appointment has been changed. It will now take place on Monday the 12th from May 2025 to 10 a.m. to 10:30. If you come over here, you can see that you've just seen the appointment move from here to here. So it has automatically been changed by the bot. So you can see how the system is very, very straightforward, very functional, and it's a very good way for users to change their appointments, for users to make appointments, for users to delete appointments as well, which is something you can do. But it's basically the same as changing, so I won't take you through that process either. So you can see the way it works. And another really cool thing is that okay, thanks. So let's restart a new conversation. Let's start a new conversation, and then let's say that this appointment never existed, right, for Jesse Karch, right? But let's say that instead of Jesse Karch booking online, let's say that he booked an appointment in person. So he called and they booked an appointment, right? So you can see over here, There's Jesse Koch. We can copy this, and then yeah, then we can delete this. So let's say that Jesse actually shows up to the clinic or makes a call to the clinic and books an appointment that way, and he books for Thursday. So we can create one here and we can say first visits, and then description. In the description, that's where you would add all the details, right? So it looks like this. First visit I'll take place from that. So essentially, now an appointment has been booked for Jesse by manually, right, by a human. However, the bot will still be able to read that manually booked appointment. So let's say a user calls and books an appointment over the phone, but now they want to check on their appointment that they booked over the using the bots, right? They can still come over here and say, when is my next appointment? Then you can see I've just checked for appointments under the name Jesse Koch. Your next booked appointment is on Thursday, the 15th May from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. You can see that. So this is literally an appointment that we just manually created, but the bot has been able to read it and find that it's Jesse Koch's appointment and match it to the user Jesse Koch, who it already remembers. You see, I didn't have to say my name again. It already remembers due to previous bookings they've made, and it's able to match them to to their appropriate appointment, even though that appointment was manually booked by probably the receptionist, right? So now you can see that users can now even check on their appointments, even if they didn't book them via the bot. They can still view the calendar and find appointments that are theirs essentially, and then the bot can report accordingly. So it's a very useful solution to businesses who handle a lot of bookings, a lot of meetings, a lot of appointments, because it basically automates all of that. And then another thing you're able to do is with programs such as make.com, which I'll just give you a very brief insight into. You are able to create extremely complex automations that do a huge that do a lot of other things, right, with the data that once they receive it. So for example, once a user books an appointment, you can create automations to, for example, send them an email and then do something else. Or maybe you can create automations to automatically send them text reminders over SMS using platforms like Twilio. But essentially, it's called make.com. It's an automation platform. It uses AI and a bunch of other things to form connections between activities. So it's like dominoes, if you'd imagine that. So for example, user books appointment, then their data is sent to make.com, then make.com generates an AI email welcoming them to the clinic, then the AI email is sent to them, and then if they respond to the AI email, they're added to a certain list. Then then about 2 hours before the appointment, the details are once again pushed to Twilio. Twilio is a software that basically connects users using virtual phone numbers. Then that virtual phone number sends them an SMS to remind them of their appointment, and so on and so forth. So you can literally automate the entire sales process, right? And then there's also other programs such as 11 Labs, where you're able to recreate a human sounding voice, and thus you can now even have voice agents, and you can have people, not people, you can have an AI agent automatically call users and ask them to confirm their appointment. It can literally converse with them, right, like a proper human, and then collect data over that as well, such as if the user says yes, if the user is confirmed, if the user is cancelled, if the user is attending. And then that can also once again be sent back to make.com to trigger more automations, to trigger something else. And basically the entire process from the actual booking to the time of attendance of an appointment can be completely automated using the software. So you can see how useful it is and how brilliant it can be for many businesses. So that will be it for this demonstration. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Once again, if there's anything else that you think would be a good addition to the sport, if there's any ideas you have, any use cases you have, just leave it in the comments down below. And if you'd like for us at Ivy Flow to do something like this for your business, to build something like this for your business, please reach out to info@ivyflowdma.com, and we will respond to you as soon as possible. So that has been it from this demonstration. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and keep your eyes open. There's a few more demos coming up with a few more really, really cool solutions that we've built.